Called Gnomeo and Juliet.
Penned by Elton John, the film tells the story of star-crossed lovers with a difference. So, will the path of true love run smoothly for our vertically challenged hero, or will there never be such a tale of woe than that of that... my Shakespeare was always rubbish. than that of Juliet and her Gnomeo. Oh, no.
It's lovely.
I mean, what's in a gnome? Because you're blue, my father sees red, and because I'm red, I'm feeling blue. Oh, at any rate, that shouldn't be the thing to keep us apart, should it?
No, it shouldn't. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh, my giddy aunt, did you just hear all of that? What are you doing here?
I don't know, I came here to... well, I don't know, I just wanted to see you again.
Are you crazy? If Dad finds you, he'll bury you under the patio.
Find me. Are you kidding? Stealth is my middle name. I'm trying.
Slightly better.
Just chatting about...
Yeah.
So you were saying that someone that you have met, we were talking about making mistakes and things when you're doing your lines.
Yeah.
And someone that you know forgot their lines.
Well, someone forgot their line singing a song and then decided to repeat the same line again and again and again for the entire song on the opening night of West Side Story.
Oh, really? Well, I know that Michael Ball, I'm sure Michael Ball won't mind me saying, but he did the same with Love Changes Everything. And love changes everything, hands and faces over the sky. Love changes everything, hands and faces over the sky. Love changes everything. I thought, oh my God, that's all there is. Sang the whole thing.
Oh gosh.
So let's talk about Gnomeo and Juliet then, which is out tomorrow. It looks absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
but
good.
A bit of a labour of love for Elton John and Deb Furnish, because it took 11 years to make.
Yeah, I didn't know it took that long until we started doing all the press and they told me. But yeah, and then even, you know, I think it takes a long time. I've been on it for 3 years, but to hear that they've been on it for so long is kind of...
So that's not normal, though, is it, being on a movie for 3 years? I know it takes a long time, but that seems an extraordinary amount of time.
I think it is, yeah. I mean, I'm doing another one that I only started 6 months ago, and it comes out this Christmas coming. So I don't know why it takes so long sometimes. It's so long.
And it's a different technique for you, because obviously you're voicing over a character, so you're on your own, acting to a mic.
Acting to a mic, and also acting to Kelly Asbury, who's our director, who's great.
Right.
And, you know, doing love scenes with him was a pleasure. and he was the most enthusiastic guy. That was the big thing. It was a whole different technique, but the guys that do animated film, or the guys that I've worked with doing animated film, are so incredibly enthusiastic and almost to a point of mania that it becomes really infectious. And that's actually really, really good to
I can never understand why. If you're making a movie, you know, an envisioned movie where all the actors are there and you can see them, they get everyone together, they organise the schedules and stuff. When you do an animated movie and you say that you never work with your fellow actors,
not once,
I wonder why they don't book everyone to sort of arrive in the studio, so that if you've got a big scene with one person, you're not working opposite each other.
Well, I asked about this, and I said, it'd be great to get in the room with Emily, and, you know, we can riff stuff, and we can improv stuff, and it'll all be dead exciting, and they were just kind of looking at me going, yeah, never gonna happen. And they kept saying to us that, like, for the 20-odd years that somebody's been in the business, they've never seen 2 actors in the same studio in one of those situations.
That's such a shame, isn't it?
Well, the next one that I'm doing is an animated film as well, and the first day on that job, I was in a room with 4 or 5 other actors. Yeah, I know. I was like, hey, there's Bill Nye, there's Imelda Staunton. Fantastic, it does happen. But we couldn't make it happen in Gnomeo.
So how does it work? Do you have to lip-sync the animation, or do you record all your kind of lines, if you like?
When I started on it, they didn't have any animation. They had like 5 seconds worth of animation to show me the character and say, that's who you're being, try and sound like he looks. And then you just start reaming through the script, and you go through the script in like about 2 days.
Try and sound how he looks.
Yeah, sound how he looks, which I thought was quite a weird thing. I was like, oh no, I hope I get the job.
Well, let's talk about him, because of course he is a gnome.
He is a gnome.
And he lives in the gardens of Verona Drive.
He does.
And he is the kind of star pupil gnome, isn't he, really?
He's kind of cock of the walk, really, and he's a mix between sort of Romeo and Mercutio, and that he's sort of head boy and a bit sort of like the lead fighter of their gang and all that kind of stuff.
And there are 2 gangs.
There are 2 gangs, the red gang and the blue gang, and they hate each other a lot for no reason, really, other than the fact that they're different. And the idea of a red falling in love with a blue would just be incomprehensible. So when in fact that happens, of course it's going to be charged with the most incredible sort of conflict and energy.
So this is the Montagues and Capulets of Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, totally.
But of course we know that story, that it doesn't end well.
I know.
And now, bearing in mind that, you know, this is we're all going along to see the cute little notes.
I know.
I just don't want a sad ending.
You don't want nomicide.
No.
You don't want them taking drugs and committing suicide.
No.
Rest assured, parents of Great Britain, it does not happen.
There's a nice
They make it through. However, one of them comes a cropper. Yeah, which is quite hard. And when I was watching it, I had a big in the audience from the kids, but he comes back at the end, so it's all right.
But you from an early age have had a sort of hatred of gnomes, haven't you?
Oh, no, I wouldn't say hatred, but
Wasn't there a certain garden gnome that you had
There
to
were a couple of
walk past
garden
every day?
gnomes in my front garden that I thought were just grimy, little grubby, sort of seedy-looking things. I always think that they looked a bit dodgy and slightly sort of iffy.
So when they said to you, make a sound like he looks, and you're thinking, really, he looks a bit dodgy and iffy.
Hello, I'm Gnomeo. How do you do, Juliet? You want to go out on a date? All right. I was like, that's how a gnome looks to me, guys, I'm afraid. No, smile it up.
Well, I think actually that because it was Drum Chapel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I reckon that there's got to be a film with that sort of a character, the Gnomes of Drum Chapel.
You know, I ain't by me and all that. Right, I'm Gnomeo. Come on. No, yeah, Vivi's eyes.
Yeah. And so as well as you know, the part that you play, and we know that Elton has done the music, and there's all sort of Elton's tracks running through there, and it's not a musical where suddenly the gnomes burst into song. I mean, it's his Elton songs that are weaved through the film.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be like that. I thought we were going to have Crocodile Rock, and that was it. And then when I watched the film about 2 weeks ago, I was amazed. I've never seen a live-action film, never mind not an animated film, where the music and the kind of musical character is so defined by one person's back catalogue. I knew stuff. He does this whole song with Lady Gaga, which is kind of incredible. So it's kind of it's a kind of strangely striking thing to have in a film. I was quite taken aback by it, but weirdly good. And I'd like to see it in live-action films as well. Yes. I think.
Well, don't you want to play Elton? He's apparently we are led to believe that there's going to be an Elton John movie.
Really?
Apparently.
Well, he said something about this at a press conference we did in LA a couple of weeks ago, and I said, well, you know, if the part's available, I can play the piano and all that kind of stuff.
So it was a more off the cuff.
Yeah, but you know, geez, the man's had an amazing life. What a character to play. So yeah, I'd love to play him, but I doubt it would, you know, come my way. I don't know. We'll wait and see.
The other films that you're doing at the moment.
You're so busy.
Yeah, there really is.
I don't know how you find time for anything else.
I know. Well, you know, I never sleep and I stay awake all night, and that's when I'd catch up with phone calls and stuff. But yeah, it's busy at the moment.
Yeah.
The Conspirator, which is the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. This was directed by Robert Redford. Now, I'd have thought, you know, for a guy who's always wanted to be an actor, you end up in the business, and suddenly you're being directed by Robert Redford. Must be something of a buzz.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing to work with film royalty, and also when you start working with him, that goes very quickly because he's so nice. He's utter, and it's such a horrible thing to say. It's so pat and so cliched, but he's super, super nice.
But he wouldn't let you use your own accent. You had to be American all the time.
He wanted me to be American all the time, and I was a little bit like, you know what, I feel confident doing the accent. Are you worried about it? Is that why you want me to do it all the time? He was like, no, it's just because I can't understand a word you say. I was like, right, okay, no problem.
So when you'd finish a scene or you'd meet up later, you'd have to be speaking in an American accent?
Not when we met up later, just when we were on set and in between takes. So it was like for 12 hours a day. And then, you know, when he would walk off set, I'm like, fantastic.
And then you can go back to
wait till you heard the door slam and then...
But I did, yeah.
Oh, well, look, it's lovely to see you as always. And Gnomeo and Juliet is out all cinemas tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes, go and see it. It's good for the kids. It's not just one of those ones for the family. It's brilliant for kids. I don't know what I'm saying. That just didn't sell the film. It's not good for the family. Take the kids.
We know what you mean. Well, actually, we know that it is great for everyone. It's a terrific idea, and it is out tomorrow. It looks like great fun. And thank you very much.
Thanks very much for having me.
Do you think we sold it better for you at the end there?
You guys were wonderful. You should have sounded like Gnomeo looked. Instead of me.